Hello, you guys. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? So good. Awesome. Okay, welcome to day one of the Revenue Challenge. And I'm going to run for 14 days where I'm literally going to coach online and show people how to create revenue every single day for the next 14 days. And so, are you excited about that? Just go in the chat and tell me if you're excited about that so I can check that out. Good. It gives me some energy. Okay, good. Are we good with sound? Good with everything? Awesome. Okay, so I'm excited about this topic because I spent years of my life really battling with this conversation of chasing money, chasing success, trying to create something out of my life. And I was left very often very, very frustrated because I would work very hard. And then what would happen is I'd turn around and I'd look at my bank account and it would be empty. Anybody else going through that right now? There's a real power to unleashing anything that you have hidden. Could you turn the AC on? Anything that you have hidden in the backdrop of your life that maybe you feel shame or you feel guilt around. That's the type of stuff that we want to like uproot and throw out. So I'm going to talk about patterns, financial patterns. I'm going to talk about this concept that it's very hard to make money, make enough money to be able to retire on. By the way, I retired in 5 years of setting an intention of understanding money. And once I understood the money, I could understand what was the plan, that if I went on this plan, I could actually set myself up for the rest of my life. That took 5 years. So I'm not saying that will take you 5 years, but I was wildly committed and I was deeply connected with my reason for doing it. So I want to debunk another thing, and that is that everybody always says like they must know what their purpose is in life. I have learned that my purpose has changed. My purpose has changed. I don't know if there's like this great lie in the universe, in the world, that we all buy into when we're struggling financially, but it seems like we all think the same when we're struggling financially. And then when we're really good with money, we all seem to think the same as well. So there's a bridge in between that I really want to do my best to open up over the next 2 weeks. My intention is not an income claim, but my intention is that through me coaching and dedicating my time to you guys over the next 2 weeks, like 2 weeks. I mean, literally, I'm going to be flying off to Utah to go skiing at the end or on Thursday of this revenue challenge. And then I'm going to go live from Thursday. We set this up at 7 a.m. California time. So when I'm in Utah, I can still do this and then hit the slopes, right? So hit the slopes. So what am I sharing with you right now? I'm sharing with you right now that a lot of times you control your way out of financial abundance because you need to get the timing right. You need to get all your house in order. You guys hear what I'm saying? It's like, that was one of the great lies that I bought into. It's not the right time to launch a webinar or do an event or start a business. It's not the right time to have a child, to get married, to retire. It's not the right time yet. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? So let's just write this down. Number one, I want you to write down the word time. And later, as we start to walk through this revenue challenge, and even today, I'm going to talk about patterns today. Time has a pattern to it. And time has a pattern of control to it. And when you're trying to get the right timing to invest in yourself or to invest in your business or to leave that job, whenever you're working within a time constraint, I guarantee you there's control in there. I guarantee you there's control in there. So here's the shift that I want you to start working for. Stop working for money and start working for mission. Now, your mission, you get to make your mission right. Okay, so this goes back to the fact when I started to realize that this thing called purpose, that I spent years trying to hook into this thing called purpose. And then I realized, holy cow, whatever you think is purposeful right now, like maybe you need to make money over the next couple weeks because you need to pay off credit card debt. Okay, that might motivate you or it might not. What would motivate you is what will happen when you pay off the credit card debt. What's available there? Because you probably would have already done what it took to pay off the credit card debt if that motivated you. So vision, write down the word vision because it's connected with mission. Vision, it comes down to, what do you see that inspires you? What do you see that inspires you? So right now, one of the things that I see is, I see our place in Utah. And I see our team at Heartcore using our place in Utah that we're building right now. I see them using that and having fun with their family and having fun with each other, and it really being a perk for people being a team inside of Heartcore business. And so that might not motivate you, but it motivates me, because underneath that, I have this core desire to be important to my team, to be good to my team. Like, I have this core value inside me that says, if I can provide that for them, I'm doing good. Do you hear what I'm saying? So this is why we spin our wheels financially, because so often we pick goals or aspirations that don't really motivate us, because we feel like we need to get out of a certain place in our life to get somewhere better. Okay, so you will do more for mission than you ever will for money. Got it? So time, I want you to write down time, and I want to start finding the patterns around time. So I'm going to have homework at the end of today. I did not dedicate my life for the next 2 weeks to help you make money and prove to you that money really can be something that you can be the leading master of. And so I didn't dedicate this time for you not to do some homework. So each day I'm going to put some homework, and then I'm going to put some incentivizing, incentivize you to show up for yourself. So I'm going to give things away like Pelotons. Who wants to get in shape? I freaking love my Peloton downstairs. Okay, Sherry's like, I want to get in shape. Laura's like, I want to get in shape, right? Who wants to get in shape? Okay, so you've got that aspect, right? You've got, okay, I want a Peloton. So maybe that might be a bit of a vision for you, that I'll buy you a couple $1,000 bike to sit in your living room or on your patio or something to work out. Who wants cash right now? Who wants cash? Okay, go in the chat and say cash. Who wants cash? Go in the chat and say cash. Okay, who wants cash? I want to see it. Okay, so if you use your voice, the world will respond to you. If you use your voice, I will hear you. And so I'll look on the chats and I'll see this, okay? So I'm going to give away cash tomorrow, and it's based on the homework that you're going to do today. So if you're watching us on Instagram, or you're watching us on YouTube, hi Instagram, or you're watching us, in the Facebook group, if you're in VIP, you're here on Zoom with me. I'm giving you guys a high five right now. We've got all of you guys covered, and we're going to give out cash. We're going to give out Pelotons. We're going to give out trips. Okay, I have a quick question. Here's a survey question. My entrepreneurs out there, I always tell you, don't ever create something without asking your list, right? Your list is everything. That's the people that are attending, the people who are listening and viewing. They're part of a subscriber list. Okay, where would you like me to send you in the world? Your voice matters here, because I can change this. I got the power to change this. One of the giveaways that I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks is, I'm going to send somebody somewhere in the world that and let them bring somebody they love. In other words, I'm going to pay for 2 of you guys to go somewhere in the world. I'm going to pick up a really nice hotel for you, or an Airbnb if you want. And I'm going to send you somewhere in the world. Where do you want to go? Germany, Australia, Italy, Greece, Dubai. Dubai's a cool place. Costa Rica, Australia, Italy, Cancun. Look, I didn't even have to ask them. They were like already on it before it got out of my mouth. Bali. I love Bali. Bali's amazing. Okay, you guys getting this? You guys grabbing a hold of this? Okay, so they're going to look and see. You guys on Instagram, Greece, Italy, Hawaii, Paris, France. Where in France? The south of France is pretty good. Italy. Gosh, there seems to be a lot of people want to go to Italy and Spain, Fiji, Greece. Okay, so we're watching on the platforms right now. So you guys are going to let me know where the overwhelming desire of a place to go. Of course, everybody wins when I send you somewhere great. So, okay, good. Now they're blowing it up even more. Okay, so we're going to give away Pelotons. We're going to give away cash. We're going to give away trips away. My suggestion is, because the 2 weeks is dedicated to all things around making money, I'm going to suggest that you do everything you can to make it a priority and be here live. Can't be here live, watch the replay until they take it down. They always take them down, but they usually leave them for a few days. So watch the replay if you can't be on live. And then if you can be on live, it just tells yourself, it tells the world that you've made this a priority. Hear what I'm saying? Okay, so let's get started. Number one is we need to focus on, you must have an identity shift around money. You must have an identity shift around money. And so number one, I'm going to say with your identity shift, there is you and the way that you see yourself. Okay, there's you and the way that you see yourself. Then there's where you want to go. This is the identity of like your future self. You are very, very, very connected to, you know where you're great, and you know where maybe you have some areas to work on, right? You know where you're great, you know where you have some areas to work on. You hopefully know what you want your future to look like. If not, then put note to self, you need to spend a little bit of time tonight or today working through that. What do you want your mission to look like? And why is that important to you? Okay, this is critically important because, like, let's do a test right now. Where does everybody want to go? Like, why are you on this revenue challenge right now? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? What do you want to create in your life? What does your future self look like? What does your future life look like? Okay, you want to help people, freedom. Okay, you're proving my point. Okay, Instagram, go, tell us what's going on. YouTube, go, tell us what's going on. Okay, so love, financial support. I want to make a bigger difference and impact in the world. Okay, so Instagram, you want financial freedom to be able to bless others. Okay, this is exactly my point. How the heck do we manage that? How the heck do we measure that? We can't measure that. And if we can't measure it, then there's absolutely no way that we can create it. Okay, so I need you to shift that right now. I'm glad I just caught that. I want you to shift that right now, and specifically, like, I can't wait till my house in Utah is built. I'm going to earn money on the revenue challenge right now. By the way, we have a client that in 2 weeks made her down payment for her house out of nothing. Now, I taught her how to build email lists, so she was able to go into her email list, which was very, very small, and she created a down payment for a house in 2 weeks. So what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible what can happen when we get a new identity of ourselves and we get really clear about what the future self is going to create. Okay, that could be a week from now, it could be 2 weeks from now, it could be 2 months. I will tell you that most people think of getting a down payment for a house for many, many months or years. Some of you guys, that might be your vision. You want to create a certain amount of money to be able to buy a house, right? So you need to lock into this. Imagine if you could have created that, or you could create that in the next 2 weeks. So again, not an income claim, but I've seen it in our community of entrepreneurs who have just taken the time to build an email list, who can go out there. You guys who have been with me for a while, you know I'm a big fan on using social media as a platform to be a TV on. That's what we're doing right now. We're broadcasting. I love broadcasting online. I love selling through email. And the reason why I love selling through email is because I can reach through email and text message like that. And on social, I have to depend on the algorithms to reach you and bring you forward. Hear what I'm saying? So I like reliable areas that I can manage and put forth my effort and see an instant result in. You guys get what I'm saying? So what is the thing that you want to create over the next 2 weeks? And maybe you don't believe it's possible over the next 2 weeks, but you want to create enough money to give yourself belief or trust that you're actually going to create this result. What is it in the next 2 weeks? I want to buy a home. Awesome. $5,000, $10,000. I can't wait to have a house in the country land. Awesome. $10,000, $15,000. Watch working for money, my friends. Money's awesome, but you need to be the leader of it, which means you don't work for it. There's a reason why you want the money. Where are you putting it? Where do you want to put it? Okay. Pay off your car. Awesome. Enough money to pay for land development for your house, a community to lead and grow. So does that mean you want to grow a business, or you want to hire a business coach, or what does that mean? You want to hire a social media team? Do you guys see how basic this is? It's really basic. Somebody will say to me, obviously, so if you don't know me, I coach entrepreneurs how to build businesses like crazy, like thousands every single month. And I can tell you that more people will say they want to make X amount of dollars, but then I'll say, I want you to go hire a social media manager, or I want you to go hire a virtual assistant. And when they go to do that, they start to think in costs. Like I can or can't afford that. See what I'm saying? I can or can't afford that. And the problem with that is you're totally already outside the identity. So I have a perception of myself and I know where I want to go. And in here, I'm going to use money to be able to get what it is that I'm trying to create here. There's a mission. And so say that mission right now is to hire a virtual assistant or hire a tech person for my company, or build my Instagram page, or build my Facebook page, or build my email list, or whatever, teach myself how to speak or write a book. I mean, all those things cost money. It's crazy to me how many people want to go write a book and they want to write the book, but they don't have a platform to network the book out in, right? Who's going to buy the book? And so we put things in the wrong order because they make us feel better. And we're actually not thinking, what do I need the money for? So if I said, I want you to go hire a virtual assistant, or I want you to go hire like a business coach, or I want you to go hire a speaking coach, or I want you to go hire a doula for you to get like give birth to a baby or whatever. See what I'm saying? A lot of times people will go to me, this has a cost to it. If you're going to break out, you need to stop thinking in costs. And you need to start thinking about investments, which means what are you going to do to create the money to be able to create this result? When you start thinking like that, the whole game changes. The whole game changes because you don't stop at time. Remember how I said time is connected to control? You don't stop at time. You don't stop at time, which is control. When you start to think like this. See, you guys, over the next 2 weeks, I got to unhook you from all of this stuff around money. And forgive me, but I don't want to take you through a framework that you have to, that for the next 2 weeks, I waste your time because I don't teach you any depth. Do you want depth? Yes or no? Go in the chat. Do you want depth? Yes or no? Which means that you got to walk through a little bit of confusion with me. You got to walk through a little bit of frustration with me. You got to walk through a little bit of like, maybe I shouldn't come tomorrow because I didn't get today. You know, you got to walk through a little bit of this uncomfortableness. See, I take action in the space of being uncomfortable, but I only deliver content that I completely feel comfortable with. See, as you're taking action, you're going to be in this realm of completely uncomfortable. So make sure that the part of your brain that wants to control yourself right out of financial freedom, it's not the right time for me. The lives aren't at the right time for me. You know what I mean? Like let's get out of all of that and let's build what's really important, which is there's a group of people in your life. Let's call this relationship. And this is the relationship identity that you've created with people. Relationship ID. Sorry for the mess. So relationship ID comes down to, my friends, is your support group. And what do you think's most important? How you think of yourself, getting clear about your future, or coming all the way down to what other people think about you. What do you think is most important? Is it you? Is it relationship? Or is it your future? Right? Is it you? Is it relationship? Or is it your future? So either put a you. Okay, so you, future. Let's see your polls here. What do you think is most important? You, the way you think about yourself, the way other people think about yourself, relational, or being clear about what you want to create. What do you think is most important? I see some futures. I see some yous. I see some yous, me's. What else? Clarity about your future. Okay, here's what's insane. Okay, here's what's absolutely insane. All of us are motivated a little bit differently. All of us are motivated a little bit differently. I had no idea that I would create what I've created inside of my life at this point. I knew someday I wanted to have a husband. I knew someday I wanted to get married. I knew someday I wanted children. I knew that I wanted to become a millionaire. I didn't know how I was going to become a millionaire. So my future was a little, I've gotten good at this part now. Because I realize if I can measure it, if I can get all these three working, I've got speed. Actually, I'll take that. If I could get all these three things working, I've got speed. How many guys are tired of things taking too long to come together? Okay, is this helping? Are you starting, is this bringing some depth to you? Okay, so that means the way you treat people is an X factor. This will give you massive speed. So now ask yourself, how many people around you right now are really successfully financially? Just go in the chat and give me a number, the number of people. Okay, go in the comments and chat. The number of people around you who are financially successful. 1, 2, 12, 10. And when I say financially successful, I mean way above you. Okay, like way above you. Millionaire status, multiple millionaire status. Okay, let's get in the millions. Okay, let's not get in the hundreds of thousands. Let's get in the millions. How many people do you know that are in your close circle that know you well, that you could text message right now? See, I'm getting discerning in this. You can text message them right now that make millions and millions of dollars. 0, 1, 5, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, 0, 0. Okay, this is good. Okay, look in the comments so that you can see this. Okay, look in the comments. This is really important. So now say you get in a financial bind. Say you know where you want to go. You got yourself popped up on some hype, meaning that you're like doing shots of espresso and you're having a good day. You're going to produce a result today. Becca's like, I got mine right here, right? You're going to produce a great result today. So maybe you figured out how to influence your mind by listening to really great podcasts, or maybe like Frank Sinatra in your house. That's what I was doing yesterday. I love Frank Sinatra. But like something to get yourself hyped up. And so you're like, okay, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. So you figured out how to hack yourself. You know where you're going, but you got nobody that you can call. That's a problem. That's a super big problem. The reason why that's a problem is because when you get in a bind or you've got a vision that's big, it's going to take people to get there. Whether that's people you can call and get money from. So great example, I was sitting in front of, some of you guys might already know this story. I was sitting in a seminar. I was losing my 3 homes actually, and 2 investment properties, and one condo that I lived in Nevada, Las Vegas. And I was sitting there and I sat through a seminar. It was a real estate seminar. I sat through a seminar and the person did such a good job that I now believed in myself and I got a really clear vision where I wanted to go. And I saw the path to becoming a millionaire. And I was like, I can do this. Like I can actually do this. This is so clear. It's so simple. I could do this. I could do the math. And what it was I would tie up a house. I'd find a house that from somebody that wanted to sell it. I would tie it up. It was not anyway, I won't go into the weeds, but I'd tie up the house. I figured out how to get the house, like how to find lead gen. Everybody who's an entrepreneur, write down lead gen. It's more important than anything else. Relationships. It's the X factor. It's how speed happens really quickly. If you can get all 3 of these going, which these you can hack in like an hour. This one you can't hack in an hour. This is why I'm really big on building email lists for entrepreneurs. Even if people are like, oh, everybody's on social media. Yeah, but guess what? I can get you on social media in 2 seconds if I send an email or text to my email list. Right? I don't have to wait for the algorithms to tell me whether or not you're going to show up or not. Got it? So relationships. So I literally was sitting there and they taught me how to lead gen houses over 2 days. And they taught me how to tie them up with a contract. And then they taught me how to find a buyer. I was like, I can do this. So now I was like, okay, I could do the math. If I tied up X amount of homes, I could make, if I tied up 3 homes, I could make $20,000. And then the investment, the cost that I used to look at, the investment to have them coach me, this is helping you guys? The investment to have them coach me was $21,000. And guess what? There was no payment plan. $21,000 and there was no payment plan. And I'm sitting there losing all 3 of my homes, getting foreclosure notes on the door. And thank God I didn't go into control on this wasn't the right time for me, because I really am not sure I would be standing here today with an 8-figure coaching company and then building another company to go public. I'm really not sure if I would be here because I don't know if I would have gotten in my own way. It was a moment where there was a perfect opportunity for a miracle and I, for God's sakes, had the courage to step into it. I got on my phone, I started text messaging people, phoning people. Do you know that I only contacted 3 people and 2 of the 3 said yes and gave me money? X factor. By the way, one of them, one of them was a guy who wanted to take me out that I didn't know. He was a police officer in Nevada, Las Vegas. Okay, and I didn't have the courage to call him, so I text messaged him. But I found the money and I invested in my future self and I got speed. Within 2.5 months, I had paid off, I'd made the $21,000 back within 2.5 months. And it was absolutely epic. Now that gave me confidence. When you get your confidence, it's because you've become competent. You need to write that down. Some of you guys need to put that up on a wall because confidence is something that just kicks your butt on a regular basis. You're like, God, I wish I was more confident. Yes, because it's very hard to have conviction in what you're doing, which then leads people to follow whatever your lead is, right? So how many of you guys are in corporate America right now? Put an E if you're in corporate America right now. Go in the chat comments, put an E so I can see in corporate America. How many of you guys are in corporate America right now? Put an E. A couple of you guys in VIP. Okay, let's see. Anybody else? I left my corporate job last week. Got it. It's not sad that you're in corporate America, Paul. I mean, first of all, some people love corporate America, and the truth is that it can be a business loan for you. Okay, so a couple of you guys on Instagram, corporate America. Okay, E. Put an E in the chat if you are in corporate America. If you are a business owner, put a B. Put a B. Put a B if you're a business owner. Okay, the chats are lighting up right now. Okay, okay, great. So I'm going to speak to both sides because I think right now it's really been put on my heart that how critically important it is for everybody to learn how to make great money and to multiply it. You are never, as an entrepreneur or as an employee, going to earn enough money to have financial freedom. I just don't believe it's possible. I've never seen it happen. I've never seen anybody have financial freedom that actually just focused on earning. We need to focus on multiplying. So over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be focusing on making money on a daily basis. I'm saying the context to it today. I'm going to show you how to grow your platforms on social media today. Are you guys excited about that? Yes or no? And I'm going to be showing you every day how to focus on money making activities. So like tomorrow at 7 a.m. California time, tomorrow we're going to open up the lives again. At 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm going to talk about how do I get wildly productive in a day. Okay, so I'm literally going to talk about how do I get, like, what do I actually focus on in a day that actually creates real income for my life? What would I do if I was in a financial crunch tomorrow? What would I do if I was in a financial crunch tomorrow? I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so if you took everything away from me and I had to produce right now, and for some of you guys, you just need that plan. If you just had that plan that I'm going to talk about tomorrow, you'd be like, okay, like it's a simple plan. And if you just had that plan, you could actually just go do it. Whether you want to or not, or whether you know what, you get what I'm saying? Like, get rid of all the control and the timing. If you just had that plan, how many guys, if you just had a plan, you'd do it? Even if it wasn't your ultimate destiny in life. Remember what I said about purpose. Purpose is what are you doing right now to create whatever you need for the future self that you're trying to step into. And in my experience, very often money is connected with that. Very often. For me, finding my husband, I had to hire a coach because I was the worst dater on the planet. I didn't know how to lead gen men. I was super shy. Even when I was successful in business, I was still super shy. And every time I saw a really handsome man, I would pretend like I didn't see him. I was like, I don't see him. I don't see him over there. I don't see him. I don't see him. I need to hire somebody to hold me accountable to find my husband. I found him in 90 days. We were pregnant 90 days later. We have a beautiful son, Zach. And I could tell you many, many stories inside my business. You heard the one where I was sitting in a seminar and I found the money to be able to invest in the seminar in just a couple minutes because the offer went away that day. So there's some patterns here that I want you to start paying attention to. Have you caught them yet? So I don't like to just teach people. I like to teach people how to think so that whoever you listen to when we're done these next 2 weeks, you become their best success stories. That's like where I fit into this market. is how can I make you better and make you more awake, thinking at a very accurate level and trusting yourself, because every action you take, nice and messy, it creates multiple miracles around you, because when you become the type of person that always follows through, then you can't fail, because it just doesn't happen. You only completely lose if you stop. Okay, so what are some of the patterns that you're starting to notice with money? Just off me talking. Or are you consumed in the content? Okay, what are you starting to see? Consistency, focus. Consistency is really important, but it's not everything. I was just speaking on Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins' platform. Was that yesterday? Yesterday. And no, day before yesterday. And I shared with all of them, none of us are totally consistent. I know you'd like to believe we are. We hit the gym every single day. We always drink our celery juice, and we never ever fight with our spouses. It's just not true. So there's nobody that's 100% consistent. Okay, that's why the most successful people always have coaches, mentors, and consultants around them. They all do. Every single one of them. So it's tough when they're making you an offer for them to mentor you or coach you, because it kind of falls flat when they tell you that, because you're like, oh, well, you would say that because you're making me an offer and that's to mentor with you, right? But no, it's actually true. They 100%, here's a pattern with success. Like I wanted to find my husband. I patterned success. I hired somebody. I wanted to have a natural birth. I could read the books and take the courses, or I could do that and hire somebody. So there's an actual time and money investment. And a lot of times the money and the time is not there. And the more successful you get, the time gets even more scarce until you say, I'm going to get on top of my time game. So I was just sharing this with somebody the other day. They wanted to call a friend of mine to get them on the phone to say thank you for something. I'm like, the worst thing you could do is like nail these people down on a phone call. Just send them a text, just send them a card, just send them. The more successful somebody gets, the less they want to be tied down to another appointment. The less they want to get their brain picked at a coffee shop. You know, like we always, can I just pick your brain on something? It's like, the less they want to read long Instagram posts or Facebook posts. The more you write, the less they're like going backwards, right? So there's patterns. I'm going to start highlighting some of yours. Okay, but there's patterns. So money always has mentorship around it somewhere. It always has accountability. Okay, so write these down, because you can hack the system and create it yourself. So think about something you really want in your life right now. How deep is the accountability with it? How deep is the accountability? Okay, are you coaching in a group format, or are you coaching privately? Are you hiring somebody that you can afford, or are you going after the best? Okay, great example. Well, I'll just use Dean, because if you don't know who Dean Graziosi is, you should go find him online. He's great. But like myself and Russell Brunson, the same year, cut Dean $100,000 check. Now, I remember a time, I know that sounds like a lot, but I remember a time in my life. I'm not about meeting you where you are. I'm about taking you up to where you want to be. Okay, this is why I don't sink down to someone's level. We are all the same, and I rose fast, and you're going to rise fast. You consume my content and you stick around me, it's going to click. You come to every day over the next 14 days, it's going to click. But I'm not going live on Sunday. I'm going to be skiing. Okay, guys, I'm not going live on Sunday. I'm going to be skiing, but I'll put some content out for you. I'll pocket coach you. If you gave me your cell phone numbers, I'll pocket coach you. If you are not registered, we're streaming on Instagram right now. If you're not registered for the challenge, then can you guys pin it or something on here? You should have the URL pinned on here. Ha, got you. Is it 14dayrevchallenge.com? 14dayrevenuechallenge.com? Okay, so go to 14dayrevenuechallenge.com, put your phone number. Because if you do that, I'll text message you pocket coaching on Sunday, so we can keep this consistently going for 14 days, okay? And I'll tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do on Sunday. And I'm gonna be out for dinner. I'm gonna be skiing. Like, success doesn't take a break, but I also don't drive myself into the ground for 14 days, which I'm not going to drive you into the ground. Okay. So patterns, you're looking at patterns like what have you been trying to create that isn't here yet and you've wanted it for a while? Go in the chat and tell me what that is. It could be anything. It could be personal, it could be business, it could be money. I'm just going to use it as an example. Okay. Membership, go in the chat and tell me. Okay, 20 clients. I've been wanting 20 clients, a dream house, group coaching, my own business, launching a business, cash flow, financial freedom, curriculum. I want to create curriculum. Okay, great. So now what I'm gonna recommend that you do is ask yourself, look at these patterns now, and you'll notice where the break is. Who have you hired? Did you hire somebody? Did you or did you not hire somebody? If you did you hire somebody within your bandwidth, your comfort zone? So you got to take action outside your comfort zone. This is action. So what do you need to do to be able to hire the person to help you fall in love, to help you lose weight, to help you be consistent in your fitness, in your health, right? To a higher level of consistency? Who do you have to hire to help you with business or whatever that looks like? Where is the best? Because remember the people, you must find the best. I'm going to tell you, I would mentor under the best, and I would go work for them full-time in a job for free to take my business to the next level. Instead, what I do now is I cut $100,000 checks. Do you see what I'm saying? In that $100,000 check that I cut to Dean, I'm going to tell you, Dean was not on my cell phone on speed dial. I got to see him, I think, twice a year in a 2-day event with other people. Okay. And so what did I do? I started to believe in myself, get a vision for where I wanted to go. Guess what this was? It was a webinar funnel. I wanted to have one webinar funnel that really cranked. I wanted $1 million webinar funnel. So when I was in his presence and could hack my courage for a day, I could talk to him about that webinar funnel. And then, of course, what did he do? Pattern of success is generosity. He said, I'm happy to get into this a little bit with you, and my team will help as well. Send us the emails. We'll take a look at them. Send us the registration pages. Here's pages that we've used that are successful. Here's emails that we've used that are successful. Here's upsell, downsell pages that we've used that have been successful. Do you see what I'm saying? Now imagine if I wouldn't have actually gotten clear on I want to get a webinar funnel to hit $1 million. Okay, what I'm trying to get into your brain right now is like, it's the simple thing, not the Oprah moment. Okay, for someone to give you a referral to go on Oprah, you better be freaking rocking it. And then they need to know her or know somebody that knows her. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, what about get yourself into the playing field that you start getting invited to your mentors, to the people who are successful, that you start getting invited to constantly be supporting them because you've gotten so good at what you do. Who's a heck yes on that right now? Who's a heck yes on this right now? This can happen like that. If you lead yourself, I talk a lot about leadership. If you lead yourself really like better, I'm just gonna say better, like better than you are now. If I lead myself better than I am now, that's where the quantum leap happens. And how do we lead ourselves better? You got to ask yourself, what's the webinar funnel for you? What is the one thing? What is the one thing? If you got into the courage of going after it over the next 2 weeks, that if I can help you bridge relationships, your leadership and your power, and being able to make the money, so it's no more a cost, it's an investment, be able to make and know how to generate the money like now to be able to invest in what you want to invest in, because you're going to have to invest in something, right? You're going to have to invest in something. The quickest way to the X factor of relationships is either be their success story or pay them. If you can pay them and be their success story, you're even better. So a lot of times people say, oh, well, I don't know if I'll get my return on investment. Does the person know you? Does the person know you now? Are you showing up in a way that you're very clear about where you want to go, because that's what's going to have them pay attention to you? Or are you going to show up and say, I just want to create financial freedom in my life. That's not attractive. What's attractive is you come in saying, I'm going to launch a company that's going to like clean up the foster care system in my city. I'm going to launch a parenting book that I'm going to put a program on the back end of it because I'm going to monetize it. It's not going to just be about me. It's going to be about actually making a difference in the world. And so in order for me to sell that product or that book, I'm going to need a webinar funnel, or I'm going to need to know how to fill a live event, or is this starting to percolate, y'all? See, people get connected to people who are clear about what they're on a mission to do right now. And you can talk about it in a way that we know that you're going to do it. So you don't have to have a back history of following through. You need to follow through now. And the way that we know you're going to follow through now is that you're absolutely clear about where you're going. So I want to ask you right now, where are the patterns in your life? And here's some of the homework that I want you to look at tonight. Know that successful people have a mentor. Successful people invest. They create the money to invest if they don't have it. Because remember, your investments just keep getting bigger, right? They just keep getting bigger, right? They just keep getting bigger. Your life's going to keep getting bigger. And if you don't figure out how to create the income now, then you're not going to create it later. Like you don't get the success without figuring out the step you're in now. Hear that? So they always have accountability. Always have accountability because they know they're not consistent without it. Okay, so a lot of you beat yourself up for not being consistent, but then lack the accountability. And so it's not really your fault. You just somehow think everybody else is consistent that are successful, and they're not. They have accountability built in. And because they have accountability built in, they can now keep that stride moving forward, which creates more speed. Okay, so here's the next thing that I need you to think about. As we're going into, we're going to wrap up, I'm going to go into VIP in 15-ish minutes. I want to have you identify who are 3 people that you think are successful in your life. Who are 3 people? Write this down. Who are 3 people that you look at and you're like, they're successful. So for me, I pick success. I would pick Sarah Blakely as one who built the company Spanx. Right? I would pick my friend Joe DeSena, who built Spartan Races. I actually just reposted him on Instagram. He's got a new TV show out. I'm really proud of him. So I'd pick Sarah. I would pick Joe. I know these people. I've gone and met with them. Joe's a great friend. He's an incredible human being. Sarah, I've gone out to Spanx. I've consulted them on a platform that I don't know if they ever launched it or not, but she's also been there for me in some of my hardest times when I was going through miscarriages and things like that. So there's a quality that I see with Joe and I see with Sarah, right? There's a quality. Super generous. There's a pattern. Do you see this, my friends? There's a pattern. They're both super generous. They're both very, very mission driven. They know that they have their own personal goals of what they want to make financially, but what pulls them forward is you, right? What Joe DeSena for Spartan Races never had a future self vision to build Spartan. Just like I never had a future self vision of building hardcore business like I have. Now, Sarah did. Sarah did. She had a very, very clear vision of where she wanted to go. She knew how much money she wanted to make. She knew all of that. Okay, so there's no wrong or right way to get here. There's just you not stopping. Okay, there's just you not stopping and just knowing it comes together faster when people know you, when you can manage your emotions with your leadership, and then you can get clear on where your destination is. However you play with this together. Is this helping, my friends? Yes or no? Is this helping? So I'm trying to unhook you from any sort of guilt or shame or thought that you can, or I just get out the thought of, will this even ever come together? Because it will. Okay, you don't have to be perfect on this scenario, but you do need to know the patterns that either take you out of the game or have your butt in the seat. Okay, now, so think about 3 people that you believe are successful. Okay, so I can think of a lot of people successful, but I don't consider them successful because they burnt themselves out. So I'm not I have no admiration for someone who quits. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I have no admiration for somebody who quits and says, I want to grow a business, but I can't, so I can only be a stay-at-home mom. I know I could get some hate mail on this. I take off 5.5 months a year. And I just know, unless you've built a company way bigger than mine, and then I could say, I don't know what I don't know, but I know that you can build an 8-figure going into 9-figure company and build another company and still take off 5.5 months a year and be a great mom and be a good wife or friend, or you know what, there's space. 5.5 months a year is almost half a year. There is absolute space that I could do other things in my life with and still do this. So the X factor there is leadership. It's leadership. How do you lead yourself? And so I don't admire people who quit. I don't admire that because it's not in my mission for myself. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means I don't. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, permission to have your own damn belief systems out there. Okay, like permission to not make yourself wrong for what you admire and what you look up to. Okay, because those role models are pulling you forward. So who is it? Who are the people that when you look at them, 3, I want 3. Who are the people when you look at them, you admire them? And I'm going to tell you what to do with them tonight, okay? And you can even do it right now. Here's what I recommend that you do. Pick your 3 people. So name, oh, this is dead. It's okay, I don't need it right now. Name, okay? You got your 1, 2, 3rd person. Now write, what is it about them that you think makes them successful? What is it about them that makes them feel successful to you? Got it? So is it, Sarah is, I'm just gonna take Sarah. Sarah's determined, right? So she is spiritual. If I take, this is Sarah. If I take Joe DeSena, I don't think Joe's spiritual. I've never actually ever had that conversation with him, right? So I wouldn't write that. Joe is determined. Sarah is determined. Joe wants to be the best. Sarah wants to be the best. Joe is relentless. Sarah is relentless. Joe has a family and is a dad. Sarah has the same thing. See how these things are important to me? Why? Because when I look at myself being successful, it's not outside of my family. Like, I'm not interested in being wildly successful and dying at home. Like, I'm just, that's not successful. I wouldn't have somebody on one of my 3 would never be somebody that, like, it doesn't mean that I don't love people who have been successful in their life and didn't make it in their family. Not at all. But they're not on my role model board. Okay, they didn't make it on the 3 because somehow they couldn't figure that out. Okay, and by the way, I have a great mentor who didn't make it in his marriage. And he's got all the reasons why. He's still a mentor of mine, but I'm not aspiring up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not aspiring up for where I'm ultimately going, because I need all of that. You know, I know what it's like being single, and I know what it's like being married. It is very different. And I need somebody to role model that has the family aspect. And so before I even had a family, I was role modeling the family, because it's another business. Running your family, to run a good family, you got to know how to run a good business. It really is the same. Okay. So you start to write out the characteristics. I'd say that Joe at Spartan Races, like, some of the characteristics, he's bold, right? He's honest. She is as well. Bold, honest, right? They are not afraid to not be liked. I mean, both of them, like, they're not afraid to not be liked. you know, I know situations, I know a situation with Sarah launching a new product at Spanx where the company didn't believe that she should like go all in on it. And she was bold and said, it was actually the leggings, right? She was bold, as like, I will go and sell it because she believed in how important it was for women to wear her leggings, right? The actual, like, it, you know, she launched her legging line. So Joe, he was bold. He wanted to pull people off the couch to get healthy because he was in the stock market world, and in on Wall Street, it's like sex, drugs, and alcohol. It really is. And he was like super healthy, and he's looking at these people, and they're like they're killing themselves. What if I could rip them off the couch, you know, rip them out of their hangovers and get them into this lifestyle? And him and Colleen just started pushing on it, and it became these races that they ended up, you know, launching. And it became, I don't even know if he's an Olympic sport yet, but I know that that was one of his visions, to make it Olympic sport. I should actually check with him, right? And so I share this with you because now when and you do a third person, but now when I do this, I can stop and go, well, what are the things that I really, what are some of the common things here? They want to be the best, super determined, bold, honest, family. So see how many of these are the same? So I'm just having that aha moment when I'm doing this. They're the same. So now what am I starting to notice? I'm starting to notice a pattern. I'm starting to notice a pattern. And the pattern is, who am I in this? Do you see what I'm saying? So if you don't want to fall off track, if you don't want to become somebody else's, like chase after somebody else's dream, because you must unhook from chasing money. I'm going to tell you the worst thing in the world is for you to do something because you think it's going to be successful. And I've been coaching entrepreneurs, and I've been coaching people out of corporate America into side hustles and into full-blown businesses for over 12 years now. And I can tell you, I've seen more people change their mind about what their purpose is than I can count, sometimes 5 times in the last 4 months. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, and then always I hear this, it's God's pulling me over here. The hair on my arms are pulling me over here. Like I can feel the chills. And I'm like, God, I don't know if that's God or the devil. Because the truth is that I just see people spinning constantly. And I'm like, why don't you do some thinking? Just do some thinking. Because there's always spiritual warfare going on in your atmosphere. And you better know how you're leading yourself so you stop doing the ping pong ball. Okay? And so this is when I started thinking, that's when my game started going. And so here's what I'm going to recommend you do. Here's what I recommend you do for the homework. I recommend you identify 3 people. Do not let this go, because you will not do this later. And urgency is another pattern. Okay? If you can do it in 2 minutes or less, you must do it now. If you can do it in 2 minutes or less, you must do it now. I don't have a freaking long to-do list. And the reason why I don't have a long to-do list is because that would stress me out. It would stress me out. It's a reminder of all the things I'm still not doing. Okay? So number 1 is identify who are the 3 people in your life that you believe, or you know that you believe are just, they've hit success. Okay, you don't necessarily have to know them, but like you have an opinion of them. Okay, put those 3 people up, and I want you to do this for homework tonight. I'm going to give out cash tomorrow for people who've done the homework. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to identify, why do you think they're successful? Why do you think they're successful? Is there a reason why you're taking that off? Okay. Okay. Why do you think that they're successful? And then go ahead and circle the pattern. And then just start journaling. Start asking yourself. Like, just start journaling and start asking yourself, like, where am I being that? Where do I need to access that leadership? Okay. And then become obsessive everywhere in your life on accessing that leadership. Okay. So Janice, say bold was one of yours, and you're walking around and that cute man next to you is like saying something, and you know you need to be bold and say something, not confrontational, but being bold and just say something, but you're like, I'm gonna just hold my tongue. Well, if you identified bold as one of the success patterns, then you must for your future self step up and be bold. Okay, and permission to do it totally messily. You might cause a conflict and have to clean up the conflict because you're still trying to figure out how to be bold, right? And so be responsible in that and clean up whatever you need to clean up. But for God's sakes, don't keep running around for this up in the ethers of success, financial freedom. Like, it doesn't come like that. It comes from grounding in a plan. Okay, so I want everybody to do that for tonight. Now, here's the next thing. You guys on Instagram, you guys on Facebook, you guys on YouTube, you guys in the Facebook groups. Facebook groups, it might be a little different in Facebook groups. You might have to go to the Hardcore Business Facebook page. I'm going to recommend that first and foremost, everybody think to yourself, what is the social media platform that you want to see grow? What is a social media platform that you want to see grow? In Facebook group, Coach Yourself to Success, you could do this too. Okay, what is one, not 12? Okay, what is one social media platform you'd really like to see grow? For me, it's TikTok. I just, like in the last week, I was like, you know what, I want to grow my TikTok, right? So what is the one, and by the way, I know my why. Okay, like I know exactly why I want to do it. Okay, and here's the why. I want to be streaming on it. I do these streams, and content is something that I love to produce for people. It fills my heart, right? And so I want to stream. So that's good enough. Like, that's good enough, because when I hit that why, a new why is going to open up, a new purpose. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even on how I'm going to use that live 100%. I just know that I want to use that live, so I want to grow my TikTok. So if you guys are on TikTok, go find me on Shanda Sumter on TikTok, please, and go follow me on TikTok. I want to see my TikTok grow, okay? I'm depending on you now. Now, for you guys, I want you to drop whatever handle. Whatever your handle, like, a lot of influencers don't do this, right? We've spent thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, in the last couple of weeks, we've spent probably about $300,000 on ads in the last like 5 or 6 or 10 days. And so, permission to follow each other. This is abundant world. Another pattern of success is not having to hoard, hide, lie, steal. Those are all signs of the devil. Okay, so we want to give, we want to be generous. So I want you to go ahead and drop your handles. Drop one. Don't drop 5 because you'll look like a jerk, right? Don't drop 5. Don't drop 2. Drop 1. Make a decision. Where do you want people to connect with you? Drop a handle in the comments in the chats. And then, you guys, I'm going to ask you to go follow each other. So as the homework, I want you to follow 20 people tonight. Okay, as the homework, I want you to find 20 people tonight. So you guys on Instagram, you could always go to our Facebook page, Hardcore Business Facebook page. And on Facebook, you can 100% go follow people there. They'll follow you. You can go drop your comment there. You guys on Facebook, you guys could always go to my YouTube, right? And you could go find us on Hardcore Business on YouTube. And you could go and you could drop your handle there too. I'm totally cool if you want to go to all my platforms and drop your handle. Okay, I'm totally cool with that, but drop one, and drop the one that you really want to see the platform grow. And then don't be the person who just does that and like leaves, because that's not what leaders do. It's so important for other people to know that you actually followed them, right? Like, how good would you feel, Becca? How good would you feel, Body Refined? How good would you feel, you guys, if all of a sudden like 30 people, 100 people, 200 people actually followed you in the next 24 or 48 hours? You'd feel awesome. And hopefully I can encourage you to lead like this and stop being afraid around finances, stop being afraid around giving, stop being afraid of competition. You know, if I care about entrepreneurs growing businesses or employees creating multiple streams of income, then all you guys who do the same thing as me, I partner with you. I partner with you in our industry to be able to help more people. I partner with you. So I'm going to encourage you, if you don't go and drop your handle, nobody can follow you, right? So go drop your handle. And what would be smart on the drop a handle, you might want to redrop a handle now, is to share something like, I help men lose weight. Here's my handle. I help women have confidence. Here's my handle. I help people blank. And maybe you're like, I don't know what I help people with. Then make it up. Remember that thing called urgency? The longer you take to process, the longer it's going to take for you to make money. Money loves speed. If you're going to be the master leader of money, it loves speed, which means you must make decisions faster. Thank you. So go ahead, and here's the homework. So tomorrow morning, you got to be on live, because I'm going to pick somebody live. Not interested in giving money to people who don't show up. Okay. So you got to show up. You got to be here. You got to show up. We are going to randomly pick people. You must have done the homework. So we're going to randomly pick people. And tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., I'm going to say, boom, 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 boom. We're going to pick people in VIP. We're going to pick people on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're going to pick people. And if you've done the homework and you're registered for this live, right? We put the link on Instagram below, 14dayrevenuechallenge.com. If you've done the homework and you're registered for this live, then I'm going to start handing out $100 bills tomorrow morning, which means we'll either Venmo you or we'll send you a check, whatever that looks like. We're going to pick 5 to 10 people tomorrow morning. That's going to depend on how quickly you guys, when I pull you up and say, Becca, tell me, are you registered for the live? Yes. Did you do the homework? Yes. How many people did you follow last night? 5. That wasn't the homework. It was 20. Sorry, baby. Can't give you the $100. Right? And so I want you to follow 20 people. It helps if you put, I do this, here's my handle. Okay? Because then people can find people who they actually want to follow. Maybe you want to partner with some people in your industry. Maybe you just want to know more people, but the X factor is relationships. The X factor is relationships. You will grow faster than I could ever teach you how to make money with having more relationships around you. Okay, you can fail fast and forward furiously with good relationships. Okay, so 20 people, following 20 people is the homework. Got to show up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Got it? Tomorrow I'm going to show you how I get wildly productive and what do I focus on to make money in a day. So it's money making activities only. And what are you doing? just wait. So can you just wait? Thanks. So sorry, I just lost track there. Okay, so I'm gonna focus on, what do I focus on in the morning? And because I actually do it in the morning. How do I actually focus on money making activities so I know that I'm gonna produce income today? What would I do if I lost everything? Right? What would I do if I lost everything? How would I generate the money? Because it's great for me to stand here and say this, but what would I do if I got wiped out? Okay, so I'm going to show you what I would do, and it's real simple, and you really could follow it. Whether you want to or not is up to you, but I don't want money to be a reason. Like, you can't say that money's hard to make. It's not. You're hard to manage. Money is not hard to make. You're hard to manage. And that's why over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to teach you leadership. I'm going to teach you focus. I'm going to teach you money making activities. I'm going to teach you sales. I'm going to teach you like all of the things that you're going to need to know. And if you apply it and do the homework, you're going to see that things move forward. So I have a reason why I want you guys to follow 20 people. And I'm not going to tell you the reason, because guess what? Making money has a lot of unclear decisions in front of you. But if you're too cool for school, or you don't follow other people, you think I'm just going to drop my handle and take, I promise you, you will see the ripple effect of that famine. But if you want to prosper, it's going to be in you taking care of other people. Okay. So go ahead. You're going to pick 3 people tonight or today, 3 people tonight or today that you admire, because you need to have a roadmap of patterns. Who are they that you see? And you got to pattern that. And then you need to become obsessive about that. Becomes like your roadmap of emotions. If it's like bold or family, right? How do I embody that when I walk forward? So I don't say, Ash, Zach, I gotta move, and treat them like shit and then show up here. Hi. No, like that is not who I would imagine Joe or Sarah to do with their family. And so if I'm going to feel worthy, if you're going to feel worthy, then it's going to require us to show up a certain way. And we don't have to listen anymore what anybody else tells us we need to do. We need to grab a hold of our own ship, be the leader of our own lives, and decide, what does it really look like for you? And then if you're with people, like I see Jamise, you guys are together, share it with each other and say, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to focus on really embodying this. Will you help me? Will you support me in this? Cool? Okay. Follow 20 people, giving out hundreds and hundreds of dollars tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. on the live. You guys in VIP, I'm going to run with you guys. Follow 20 people, drop your handle, tell them what you do. Don't write a novel. That'll get you kicked off as quick as possible. What I mean by that is you cause other people stress to have to read a novel. Real short. This is what I help people with. Here's my handle. Okay? All right, you guys. Welcome to day 1 of the Revenue Challenge. My name is Shanda Sumter. I'm going to be your coach for the next 2 weeks for 1 hour a day, unless you're in VIP. If you want to jump in VIP, do we have a link that we could drop somewhere in VIP? If you, I don't know if you do you? You could do it. Okay, so we can leave the Instagram on for a second while they drop a link for you guys. If you guys want to come into VIP, it's where the next 14 days I'm going to be debriefing with them. So literally they get to ask me any question in the book. It's a total open forum. I am going to be with them for the next hour, and they're going to be hot seating and doing whatever it is that they want to do. They lead it. They lead VIP. We do have cryptocurrency coming up. We do have things like that where I have some of my guests coming into VIP with me so that you can also get access to that. So you guys in the Facebook group, if you can go ahead and drop a VIP upgrade link, if anybody wants to upgrade to VIP with us. You guys in Instagram, they will bring a link in 2 seconds, right? They're gonna, do you have one? Awesome. They're gonna bring a link for you guys in 2 seconds. I'm gonna close down the live for everybody else. So if you wanna upgrade to VIP, now is a good time to do that. They should have dropped links in YouTube and Facebook, and they're about to pop one here onto Instagram right now. So this is a wrap for day 1. I will see you tomorrow morning, and you guys in VIP, I'll be with you in 2 seconds. All right, you guys, talk to you soon.